issues that I have is the fact that, so the traffic in the Stone Oak area, especially Heathner, when you're between Blanco and Stone Oak, Parkway, especially Stone Oak, there's the Chevron that's right there in the Walgreens.
You don't want to be there in high traffic time.
It's hard to get through, and the buses, they're trying to get the kids to the schools, and even they have a hard time. You know, and sometimes, and I remember when my son was going to Reagan and he would ride the bus, sometimes the buses would get there to school late. And you can't have that because the medians are so far spread. And my husband, he did go to one of the annual POAs to ask, you know, how can we alleviate? And the lady, she just said, well, we like our trees. Well, you know, it's not about the trees. It's about getting the traffic to get moving because there are people that live there that need to go to work. We all need to get to work.
Right there, if I remember, like, you need at least 20, if not 25 minutes ahead of time.
At least.
Extra time just to get through there.
Just to get through. And then some people, they're working downtown. So you're tacking on the fact that you're adding 30, maybe 40 minutes, hopefully there's no accident, to another 30 and 40 minutes just to downtown. I mean, to me, it's almost like I'm living back in Washington, D.C.
And we all want development in District 9. And we love the Stone Oak area. It's beautiful. At the same time, residents there want to get to and from school, work, church, whatever it might be, and to be able to do it in an efficient manner. But if we do it in an efficient manner, that means there's less pollution out there as well. So we want to make sure that we're helping people move along.
And as you said about church, Cornerstone Church over here, on Sundays, they need, you know, their people to get to church, and that can even get backed up. Even when they have, you know, the officers directing traffic, it's a burden even on them.
That's right. And it can be dangerous for them as well.
Yes, and speaking of officers, as a constituent, I also feel that we need to defend our police, our firefighters, our EMS, all our first responders. I don't think defunding them is the answer. I know a lot of people are angry and upset with certain things that have happened. And you know, yes, there are a few bad apples in the bunch that can, you know, do something so horrible to a person that takes someone's life. You know, I feel for the poor man, the guy on his knee, and on his, but you know, that was that one guy. You know,
the 99% are not doing good. And we have bad apples and everything, don't we?
And you know, I always think that they need to look into internal affairs.
Right.
In the police.
Well, interestingly, so viewers need to know this, that in Austin they've experimented with defunding the police by $150 million. And what we need to look at what's happening with Austin. The police officer retirement rate is up 43%. They defunded the next 3 academies for new officers, for training new officers. That means, you know, you're not going to replace those retirees. You're also not going to have new ones coming in as well if they're young to do that. But the other thing they did was they defunded their internal affairs. The very thing that people are wanting in accountability is to make sure you have to have internal affairs there to investigate or do whatever, especially on criminal matters. We're not just talking about administrative matters of police officers, we're talking about criminal matters. But the overwhelming majority of police officers are good men and ladies, and we need to protect them. As my son Jack said, I don't know if you saw the video that we shot outside my house where we had a Back SA Blue sign. My son Jack, he was asking, Dad, what are you talking about today? And so I told him about Proposition B on the May 1 ballot, and we need to make sure we vote against Proposition A and B. But Proposition A is an attempt to defund police by disbanding their collective bargaining. So I told him about this, and my son Jack, who's 10 years old, or 11 years old, he goes, Dad, why would anybody want to defund and not protect the police when they save us every day? And out of the mouth of babes comes great wisdom. We need to make sure we take care of our police officers, our first responders. And that's why we created the sign, was to make sure that people understand we need to defend and fund, not defund the police. And in this case, so Proposition B is an attempt to defund police by disbanding their collective bargaining. And what I tell people is that they have a right to freely associate, just like all these people here. You're associated around a love and enjoyment of automobiles and cars, trucks, whatever time frame, whether it be a 68 or a 57 or any other year that's out here.
Or a 77 Trans Am.
Our 77 Trans Am.
Which my husband is very fond
Yeah,
of.
which is the
Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit's favorite. I had Matchbox cars of that. And but so this free association has brought us all together today to allow us to meet together and do this video. So how important it is for the police to freely associate and have that collective bargaining. It's a right by, not only a right, a God-given right, but to associate, but it's also by law under Local Government Code 174. This vote on Proposition B has nothing to do with accountability. It has everything to do with defunding them. So if we don't want to follow the way of Austin, then we need to make sure we save those, we protect those people who save us on a daily basis, defend our police officers and other first responders, and vote against Proposition B and Proposition A as well. We'll have another video about that one.
And my next question is, if you defund, where's that money going to go?
Oh, well,
that's the big question.
That's a great question, because Austin has taken that money and done wraparound services for abortion facilities. They've done, since you asked the question, they're buying a 10th hotel for the homeless. And while we need to take care of the homeless, we have to engage the faith-based community and other nonprofit organizations to help the poor. That's help them on an individual basis. Government's not set up to do that. That's what church organizations, faith-based community, and individuals are called to do, not government. We need to stop the growth of government. We need to pull it back. We need to give tax breaks to people, including their property rate taxes, and to accelerate those so people have more money in their pocket. They know what best to do with it, and to make sure that they can help other people, because that's where charity starts, is at the individual level. So thank you so much for doing this little interview. Give you a hug, and with your husband's permission, and hopefully, and so remember, go out and vote. Early voting begins April 19th. Election day is May 1st. Let's push back against the progressive socialism that's in the city of San Antonio, and because conservative values matter, each person matters, and we need to work to protect each and every individual. And because when we do good for the individual, we're doing good for the society. We're doing common good. So remember, conservative values matter. We need to get back to basics. We need to get back to business. We need to back SA Blue.
And we also need to back small businesses as
Absolutely.
well.
That's right. That's the back to business part. Make sure they stay open and have freedom to operate under the business owner's conscience. And thank you for bringing that up, because I am the lead plaintiff against the city of San Antonio against the banning of Chick-fil-A from the San Antonio airport. So we need to make sure we are protecting business owner conscience rights, whether no matter what size of business, but especially small business owners. So for more information, go to votepatriot.org, votepatriot.org, and thank you very much for your time and consideration. Thank you, Martin, for you're doing that, and thank you for our videographer, and have a great rest of the day. Come out and enjoy the car show. They're here until 5 o'clock today. They're about, so at Al-Safar Shrine Temple on Loop 1604 in the heart of District 9. Come out and join the car show. Have a great day.